everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 154 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have all our players today. Same as always, we have Kyle, Matt, Katie, Josh, and Greg. Two of them may be coexisting in the same window at this time.
I didn't realize both of them were actual people. We thought
Yeah.
one of them was an
As you can
AI.
see, this is definitely not a trick of the camera, even though the bookshelf does make it look like you guys were just edited to be next to each other. Um, but as you can see,
The magic of
we can change
instantaneous.
places. Um, but
You sure do,
anywho,
Boots.
um, I think I'll go ahead and jump into a recap and get started. If you hear anything strange or see anything strange, let us know in the chat because we're trying out some new stuff and having a good time doing it. Last session, you guys were at a party, the biggest party of the year, with many a shitty, interesting, or powerful person having a good time or a bad time, depending. Um,
Variably.
all of you probably having a middling time, where it is not bad, but nor is it a beautiful, bombastic time. But you know, that's what the second night is for. And after getting to meet all of the rulers from the Underdark, at least from afar, learn of some hostilities between them, get to see Egil in his nice little outfit, though he had to leave early after the Lady Lord was offended by a choice of one of the other ruling parties and their attire and what they may have actively been carrying with them at the time, aka a fetus. Um, Birth at some point imminent. It seems quite far along, also in tow, probably the father of said child. The Lady Lord,
They play it up
not
that way.
happy. They certainly do. And the Lady Lord left early. Eagle and General in tow. Um, Nyx also tries to hook up a bookish gnome with a very sultry bugbear, but he gets too nervous at Nyx's aggressive assault and flees the scene before it is too late. And he is found out for his affections. Also, Roshan does a little snooping on two people that Russ may have to fight in the future. People that work for Jin Lee who asked Nyx very politely if she'd be willing to trade her sickle for anything. And the no that happened near half a second later was indication enough that being polite was not the route. And it seemed threats were placed upon the table. Nyx said she'd think about it. Um, Fen gets to say goodbye to his grandma, who was invited to this event. Corrine had heard about her from Fen, and that she was a renowned hunter. And that was enough to get invited to the party for a night. And she is escorted by a very, it's a boy toy, by just an attractive young elven man who says he will escort her to the teleportation circle, which will take her to a town in the west. And then from that town, she will go home. And besides dancing and being introduced to Mood, who is the life of the party and the emissary of Pink, that name probably unknown to 99% of the party, but still seems to be an important figure of some sort. Um, and after drinks and dance and drugs, the night comes to a crawl, which comes to an end. And all of you make your way out of the event and past the gates where it's cold again. The snow continues to fall on the ground, and it's just it is a sudden shock, kind of like jumping into a swimming pool for a moment after being in such a nice, comfortable temperature, going straight to corruption heightened winter. Uh, but all of you step out. Russ takes Nyx's hand, and Nyx, you can see that the cart is 100% here to pick you up a second time and take you back. Um, he gives you a hand and helps you in, and as the cart begins to go, Kel, do you feel like, come on? And Thor runs past you and like full on propels herself and grabs onto the back of the cart and pulls herself onto the back. You can see Gressa with Maggie on the shoulder, full running, and does like almost like a football throw with Maggie's body, who just kind of like slides
Fastball
onto the top.
special.
And then Gressa stops, gets into stance, and then just propels herself forward and onto the cart. Nix, you hear thump, thump, and then a very, very loud thump.
Wow.
Oh my god. Incredible.
Russ doesn't seem too concerned, as you can hear the women talking
Yeah.
atop you, and the ladies look to you, Kel, to see if you're joining.
If there's room.
You can certainly try. You can give me athletics or acrobatics, or if you have anything that would assist you.
I don't know. I don't think I have an assist with that. Oh, all right. So we're gonna go athletics. So
Okay,
that'll give me a
100%.
17.
Oh yeah. You're a little late on the draw, but there are also two very strong women sitting atop this cart that kind of like are able to, like, once you like you're like make your leap for it. They're able to get arms on you and pull you on, and you just watch as Keld and the ladies just get carried away back towards the inn. Keld, not Keld, Fen, your giant elk is brought around.
Nice.
That you're able to ride
Thank you,
on.
Valet.
Nana,
Besides
Roshan,
that,
anyone want to ride?
I need to get off these shoes. Oh, I need to get them off. So yes, please.
Finn will help Nana up onto the elk. Roshan,
Yeah.
still room for one more?
I'll be fine. I think Roshan looks distracted and is trying to digest the evening and everyone, and will just slowly meander home. He thinks he's safe enough.
Roshan, roll me a luck check.
Oh shit, buddy! It's a criminal party.
7.
That's a lucky number.
Why are you like this?
That is a super lucky number, I've heard.
Nana, you
Yes?
get onto the elk and you go to grab your shoes and realize it is your whole outfit.
Yeah. Oh right. Yep. Those are attached. Those are staying on.
But
At
you're
least
off
I'm
your
not on
feet.
them. Yay.
And at Roshan's request, you are free to start meandering at whatever speed you wish to meander at on your elk home.
Do let us know if you need anything, though. Okay, Roshan.
No worries.
You've got pings.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're gonna meander at whatever speed gets us home before sunup, so this thing doesn't unceremoniously dump us onto our asses into the street when it disappears.
Yeah, fast enough to like do it efficiently, but maybe not a full gallop, because ouch.
And you two begin to make your way out. Well, Roshan meanders a bit before midnight in the middle of this city alone. Anywho,
Why are you like this?
Russ sort of looks over at you, Nix, and it seems as kind of like you have to come down from party energy. Like, even if you're not having a good time, it is something that just gets in your bones. And he kind of looks over, like a bit abuzz. All right, I want to make you feel more comfortable with what we were talking about earlier, but the thing is, I couldn't. It wasn't proper to talk about it at the party.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So you were saying that, all of this woman and her friends are going to gang up on me and challenge me to duels. They can't, because they're associated. Only one of them can challenge me a day. So it was a lie. I'm just not going to call somebody a liar in the middle of this party. They are incapable of all fighting me. They'd have to pick the best of them.
So she might instead start targeting all of us.
You
Because
all
that's what she
connected
brought
to
up
me.
instead.
The thing is,
Potentially.
we're married. That's your group. They can't touch any of us more than once.
Okay. If there's not a way around it.
That's why I wasn't worried. The thing is, they've been seen walking together. There's a judge who rules it, and we can obviously fight for it that they are connected. I'm not worried. That's why I wasn't worried.
Okay. I won't worry then. I'm fine.
All right. And they can send their best, and then the next day they can try again.
That'll be fine.
It's
It'll be
okay,
fine.
Nix. You don't have to worry because Roshan is doing that.
Meandering through the streets worrying.
Strategizing.
The elk makes its way forward. Keld and company on the back of the cart. You can see that the women are having just kind of casual conversation, and like are just sort of like looking up at the stars, and are kind of having like a bit of a more quiet moment as like the energy from the party begins to slowly kind of simmer and die down a bit. I really should have fought somebody. That was a poor choice. I feel like it's better to get it out of the way on the first day. Maybe I just won't. I don't know.
You seem.
I mean, well, I'm not. We fully came here with the intention for fighting. That was the whole draw of it, Besides our statement piece, but we could have. No, we had to make that statement here. You
Did
see all those
anyone say
fuckers in
anything
there.
about it?
Not a damn fucking soul. They'd see me in the ring if they did. This is the place to put the body of a monster on display, so that every monster at this thing knows that they are not safe. And I feel pretty damn good about making a monster stay awake at night. And you hear kind of just like tired hoots and howls from the other two. Yeah.
Yeah, you said it.
So if we stop one person from being a monster,
Hey,
that was worth all of it.
absolutely.
Fuck, I'm tired. It just sort of like flops back on the cart as they watch the stars in the sky. Hey, Roshan, we zoom in on a guy walking all by his lonesome.
Oh God, guys!
What's Roshan doing? What's Roshan thinking about?
I think Roshan reaches out mentally to the shadow, and just quietly asks, when there's nobody around, "You there?"
Sorry, 1 second. I just saw the double Josh on the stream. And then it's like, no, he has to also be in his box. He get it. I just saw that there's just like a Josh and then just like another one, like, hello. Don't mind me.
Double the Josh.
But as you take steps away from the party, you do feel a presence come to join you on your walk.
And I think he says, "It's probably a good thing you weren't there. She's a monster. And I'd like to put her in the dirt, but I can't. And I don't know that anyone in our party can.
I feel much more confident in my ability to regulate my emotions since our fall, since that we have now been separated from a beast. But if you believe it was for the best, I believe you. And some risks are not necessary. If you think this risk not necessary, I agree with you.
I don't know what risks are necessary and what risks are not necessary. So I guess I try to take as little risk as I can without knowing. But thank you for trusting me.
We are going to encounter risk. You have already encountered risk. And sometimes it is best to leave it by the wayside. And sometimes it is best to beat risk to the punch. I believe you on these matters. I trust you.
How does one such as me beat risk to the punch? I suppose I have to find leverage, but how do I find that without putting us deeper into debt? I think he asks those things hoping there's an answer, but also semi-hypothetically, because Shadow doesn't have enough context to give any real concrete help, but maybe some suggestions.
There's a moment where you walk. I feel as if I understand social politics. But what have I experienced? If I experienced something, if they experienced something, I don't recall it. But when I see you interact, when you are confident in how you react, I do not worry. Each enemy, each problem, each force has something that can neutralize it, and it is not always violence. It is not always blackmail or threats. Everyone has something, and you have much to offer. You've made many a friend. I think, given some thought, some clear thought, not much is out of our reach.
But how do I know what to think about? Even just walking home, it feels like the whole party is replaying all at once in my head. What do I focus on? Because what did I miss? And what did you miss by me making you go away?
I do not think I have the ability to convince you not to worry about things like this. I don't think it is wrong to play back moments and analyze. I think there is knowledge and importance in that. But when it becomes hindrance, we have encountered a problem. If you are dwelling on your mistakes, but not on how to repair them, mend them, we are only failing.
Well, any glaring mistakes you see that need to be mended?
It's a beautiful night. I feel like I can see so incredibly far. And all of it is much more clear and beautiful than I can remember. And you have gifted me that clarity. I can only thank you for that. Because you helped me. If you missed something, maybe somebody else saw it. I am always learning. I was not inactive. And neither were you. We get better with each day.
I think when the shadow mentions how beautiful the evening is, Roshan just, for the first time, looks up at the sky and takes in the stars because he's been so focused on what's happening right in front of him at this terrible, awful, super fun party. And I think he takes in how beautiful the shadow thinks it is and will cast invisibility on himself and just sit and look at it for a while and think.
The two of you take a moment in what feels like relative safety, and you take a moment to observe the stars. And people make their way back to the inn. Somebody will be probably an hour later than the others, but but at some point, I'm happy to say all of you are back. Besides at this moment, Roshan. So anything you
think
wanted to do?
for Nana, once she gets in, first thing first, she goes ahead and, like, she doesn't even get out of her costume. She takes care of Thick Biscuit because he's outside. She takes care of this Thick Biscuit, then she can go inside and it's warm, and she doesn't have to come back outside where it's cold again. So, once she has completed that, she's probably going to go seek out Nyx. Pick her brain about some preparations for dueling tomorrow.
Okie dokie. Nyx is easy to find. She walks in with Russ. You all know each other.
I'm
Yeah.
here.
I fully expect Nyx and Russ got to the inn before we did, being on a carriage and us taking an elk at a leisurely pace. So I would probably go in and find Nyx, and I don't want to pull you away if you've got something else going on, but I wanted to inquire about some things I might need before tomorrow, before I start dueling anybody.
Russ is also actively like in the background of this, trying to like doff heavy plate. So he's he's hyper focused on trying to get out of his plate at the moment.
Nana will kind of like slide in there and start kind of like helping him to unlatch stuff, because like heavy plate is a bitch.
He's like,
to put on.
I got it. And you can see his hands fully can't reach like some of the spots.
What a friend's What a friend's
Get out those spots. It's fine.
It's all right.
Listen,
I've
you
done
guys
this
talk.
loads of times before.
Keep going. Just
Yeah.
ignore me.
Uh-huh.
Plan your plot. I'll chime in when I think it's appropriate as somebody who duels at this every year.
that is very much a primary reason why I wanted to start that conversation right here and right now.
So, do you want like spells from me? What do you want?
Well, at the very least, I was thinking we could decide on spells for the Ring of Spell Storing before we go to sleep tonight. That way your spell slots are all refreshed before tomorrow.
Depending on what you want, yeah. If it's something that I'm not ready for, then it'd be tomorrow. But
right,
it's fine.
Okay.
Whatever you need.
Well, I'm thinking that I'm going to want. Right. So the one I'm thinking about dueling is going to be Dacian May. He's a bugbear, sort of older gent, it seems. He's second for Vina Fallon, who inherited a business recently. I figure, well, that's a natural in. I'm seconding for a businesswoman. He's seconding for a businesswoman. Even if there isn't a rivalry there, then, you know, it's an even ground sort of thing. The thing that's got me worried is his reach. He's a bugbear, so he's got these dirty great long arms, and he's got a whip. So, I mean, unless I'm dueling in the widest arena, I'm going to be pressed to keep outside of his range. Actually, Russ, are we allowed to request, like, the largest size arena, even if we're not using ranged weapons primarily, or is that a restricted thing?
So you can pick the largest arena, somebody will get to you. They've made it so that somebody could get to you and start wailing on you, so people aren't being kited around the field. So inevitably, he'll probably find you unless hindered in some way.
Okay. Plenty doable, though, considering if I've got something that could... actually, I've already got a couple ideas, but what I'm missing, I think, is really like some heavy-hitting, I'd say some kind of damage spell. Perhaps something else maybe that might be good for healing as well.
So you
I
want...
can take a hit or two, but not that many, not with the kind of damage that I've seen going around some of these fights.
Right. So, you don't want just damage and healing. Okay.
I mean, if it's... I don't know if you'd need to split that over 2 spells.
No, I have something that could do both. Do you want it stronger? Like,
probably pretty strong, I'd say. I mean, if it's going to do both at once, I think it only makes sense. I mean, I'd like to have something that I can keep in my back pocket just in case I'm put up on the ropes pretty quick. So I can just wail on him and maybe put him on the back foot.
Do you have the ring with you? Because I thought Fen had it.
I do.
Okay.
I do, yes.
Great.
Right
I can put something in there. Okay. I will put a 4th level Wither and Bloom in there for you.
Okay. Wither and Bloom. Have I seen you use that one?
I mean, I did use it. I don't think you saw because you were blind.
Well, at least I don't think this bugbear's likely to have something up his sleeve that'll blind me. Probably. I guess we'll see.
Famous last words.
Now he's got everything to blind you.
You know, now I'm wondering if I need to start preparing for that specifically. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I guess besides that, it'd really be nice if I could have something that'd be sort of like, maybe not insanely high damage, but sort of versatile, something that I could... I mean, honestly, I was sort of wondering if Roshan might be willing to lend Hellish Rebuke, unless you could recommend something that would be sort of similar that you happen to know and have prepared.
No, if that's what you're wanting, I'd go ask him.
Okay, yeah. I thought that maybe, like, having a quick little something that could go, you hurt me, but I'll hurt you back, might be a useful little thing to have in the pocket as well.
Yeah. It's probably a better bet for that.
You can see Russ is actively like thinking. I'm almost positive I've seen Dacian fight before.
Yeah, really.
I'm trying to the the youths, the new people at the party love throwing hands a little bit to get, get their teeth in something. I mean, I think he has a good set of armor. I think he hits hard. I think he's a bit tanky. But I don't really remember him using any magic.
Okay.
But I do think I'm trying to remember if he is at least wearing chainmail or something. I know he was wearing at least a solid armor.
I could see chainmail on him when Tan pointed him out, so that seems tough enough to get through, but I'm pretty quick on the uptake with my sword and dagger, so...
Yeah, strong and sturdy is what I remember, but I didn't fight him personally, so I don't have much more than that.
Right.
Well, I mean, if he's wearing armor, you want more damage instead of healing. You could do... I have a spell where you heat up metal.
Oh!
It'd be really
like
bad.
The armor on his...
Yes.
On...
It would work really well, though.
I don't doubt that, but wouldn't that catch his fur on fire?
No, it's a fight.
And actively hanging his
man,
little hat on like a hanger.
I don't want to... I would prefer not to... full respect to you, Russ. Your trophy policy is perfectly adequate for what you're going for with your boss. No quarrel with that. I personally would prefer not to leave any lasting damage, like especially since it's just... I'm looking for somebody to fight just to get clout. I'm not here to...
I'm more concerned about how it would smell.
Well, there's like a little magic barrier around it, so we probably would.
They also get magically healed at the end, and hair grows back, and blah blah blah.
It'd be fine.
I know, yeah, but like, goodness, cooking somebody inside their own armor.
I'd be furious if that was done to me. I would.
But it would
I'd
work
be hitting
really
hard.
well.
The intent would be to hit as hard as I could after that. But
But
you know,
that's
as long as you
already the
could
intent.
maintain focus on it, I suppose.
Up to you.
I'd rather have something that I can hopefully just use the once and maybe wind up doing a good chunk of damage and then just being able to keep him on the back foot the rest of the fight.
All right.
That's the
I
idea anyway. I appreciate the offer. It's not a bad idea.
Or there's the
if
other
it was-
one if you wanted a lot of damage that I was using against the rock creatures. That's really damaging.
Which one was that? Was that...
The one that kind of looks like corruption. Blight.
Oh. Yeah,
It works really well, though.
Yes.
Works really well. Might give the wrong impression if we're here trying to find allies against the corruption, no? Just
My
a thought.
biggest concern would be, like, with the whole audience watching, whatever their opinions might happen to be individually about the corruption and whatever it does for or against them, that's I don't know, looking like I'm throwing corruption around, it is not even, I don't know, it's not something I'm really comfortable throwing around just with everybody staring.
All right, we'll just stick with this one then that I already put in there.
I think that should be ample. What's it do?
It heals you and hurts the person at the same time. It's like you're kind of taking from them, sort of.
I mean, it is a fight. And I mean, honestly, I'm concerned that he's going to have me on the back foot a good bit of it. So I've got to have something with a bit of teeth. And I think that this one makes sense.
I'll give you the ring back. And anything
Thank
else?
you. Goodness. I mean, well, not tonight, but Russ, I don't suppose perhaps sometime tomorrow before we head out to the party, I could have a chance to spar with you just a little bit in these god-awful boots so that I make sure I don't fall flat on my face the first time I try.
Sure, we can do a little back and forth. I will tell you now, if you spend anything energy-wise before an actual fight, they won't give you the fancy drugs that let you have it back. That's only if you do a fight at their arena. Then they'll give you the nice fancy drugs that boost you up after. So try not to. I won't be using a lot on you.
No, I'd probably mainly be just focusing on my footwork, if I'm being very honest. I think that's where I'm going to need the concentration.
I mean, I'll do it right now, honestly. I mean, I'm armorless, but I'm a loosey-goosey type guy.
I really want to get out of these boots, though. It's all one piece. I can't just take off the boots.
Oh, we're
and not
already
fight.
awake.
So,
You're going to want to get out of the boots by the time you fight tomorrow, too. Tough
well,
through it. Come on.
We're just backing up to the walls.
You're arranging, Nora. How often have you had gravel in your boots and we've still hiked for miles?
Plenty. I'm just saying, this is different. Have you ever worn heels this high?
I have not.
Okay, so let me tell you, the tendons in the back of my leg are screaming. I'm just saying. It's fine. I could probably tough this through. Just for a couple rounds.
And it's not we're not fighting here. I'm just
Right.
doing an analysis is really what it is.
Sure.
Because I also don't want to use my shit tomorrow and then be, caught with my pants down. All right.
All right.
Focus up. I just want to see basically what we're working with here. I'm going to do my best not to damage you at all, which I feel like is also just a special little like focus for me. And it's immediate, like you watch almost like jelly, like his shoulders go back and his knees bend. And meanwhile, Keld and Thor and company like walk by the door and she's like, so do you want to go in there or do you want to go in there? And like points to her room. You hear everybody
They
yelling
look
about
busy.
spells.
I think they're busy.
It sounds like they're busy. They sound busy.
I did want to talk to you about something, so.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
That sounds bad. It could have waited through the third night. And she kind of like laughs and kind of like bump shoulders with the ladies as they all kind of do like quick good nights to each other. And you are brought to Thor's room, and she kind of like begins to like take off like these heavy like layers of dress and just gets into like night
corpse.
Takes the corpse off of her face and sets it on the nightstand next to her gloves. Now two things that she likes right there on the table. Right, what do you want to talk about?
So you remember I told you everything about the guard and how you're wanting more proof, something more substantial.
Yeah.
Well, I ran into someone who might be able to give you a little more proof at the party.
Who would that be?
Well, their name is Clove Kid. At least that's what they go by. And I'll sort of describe them to Thor.
Okay.
I don't know if the party's the place to do it, but since they're there, you could, if you see them, you could maybe talk to them about it.
So do you think I should just approach them of my own volition, or are you going to mediate? What's your idea on this?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Mm,
They're not very happy with me.
that certainly sounds like somebody who is going to sing your praises when I ask.
But they mean well, and they know how important this is. We're just going about it in two different ways, I guess. It's kind of complicated.
Held, give me a persuasion check. I will give you advantage as Thor seems to like you. Thor seems to actively enjoy your company and your counsel.
Someone's enjoying my company and counsel.
Hooray!
14. Wait, sorry.
Wait. Huh?
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Oh, yes!
I was like, I thought I was better than that.
I was
I
gonna
thought I was
say.
better than
I thought I was better than
Wait
this.
a minute.
Okay. I'll talk to him. I can't promise anything, you know.
Yeah.
The ladies
me
and
either.
the ladies and I will go talk to them. And if we believe them, we'll go from there.
They know how serious it is, so hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that tomorrow. Tonight I want to lick the lightning ash off your face. So, so that's kind of where I am. But I'll talk to your acquaintance. All right. Anywho, black wash across screen.
Fade to black.
Eventually, Roshan, you think your spell, are you going to try and like ride your spell out till it ends, or are you going to be like, I can get home before it ends? Is that the goal?
I think that's kind of, it's not his goal, but I think he's going to get bored of looking at the stars before an hour is up. And then he'll be like, well, I wonder how much time is left. Hopefully enough to get me home. Who cares? It'll be fine.
While you are sitting there, kind of part of the way through, you do see a quite exquisite little carriage, a little chariot of sorts, slowly moving down the main pathway. Slowly moves past you and kind of looks like it gets slower at like alleyways and when people pass by, but keeps going.
Can he see anyone inside, or?
You can see the driver, a well-dressed young man. Looks like he maybe just probably hit 18. Also a bit of a head on a swivel. But you know what? Benefit of the doubt, little guy with a head on a swivel. The cart does slow a bit when it gets to where you are, but then does keep going.
And Roshan can't see anyone inside of it, can he?
You can't see inside, no.
I think he'll look toward the shadow and kind of cock his invisible eyebrows like, suspicious.
You feel a returned, indeed suspicious eyebrow invisibly returned.
Yeah, what the hell? He'll recast invisibility and just follow it for a ways, and if it veers more than like one turn away from going back to the hard fiddle, I think he'll give up any chase, but he'll follow it for a little ways since it's going a little slow.
Go ahead and give me stealth with advantage.
Come on. Oh, I think that's a 22.
Ooh.
Well, you follow behind the cart, which there's no way it could see your footprints in the snow anyways at that rate. Which you're kind of hyper aware of that you are actively leaving a trail, but so are the
Yeah.
people that walked through here earlier. And there's also elk footprints and cartwheels, and it is an active road. You follow for about a block away from the hard fiddle, and it turns and goes back the way it came from.
Are there any identifying details about the carriage, or is it?
It's beautiful, like a polished stained wood. Simple, classic, but no like really distinguishing features about it.
Well, it's probably nothing. Everything's okay, I guess. Roshan will just walk the rest of the way to the hard fiddle, and once his hand is on the doorknob, he'll drop concentration and walk in.
All right. You drop concentration, walk inside where it's warm. You are very cold, as you had been just hanging out outside. You make your way upstairs, and you can. All right, I'm going to hit you as softly as I can. I promise, as softly as I can, is what you hear coming
all right, I
from
believe
your
you.
companions' rooms.
I'm
She can
certainly
take
not
it.
here to rough you up too much either. I'm
It's
aware
fine.
I can.
Yeah.
It's fine.
This is a test. I'm trying to get a feel of what's going, and it's a sucker punch as the hand goes up, and oh yeah. He just
Rude.
jabs 2 fingers right under your jaw. I need a constitution saving throw.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm so good at those. Oh damn, rolled okay. So what's that get me? Con saving throw. It's an 18.
Ooh.
Is that spicy enough?
You
I
feel
don't know.
your jaw begin to lock up, just kind of like push through this. Literally like right below your armpit. I need another one.
Ah shit.
Get wrecked.
Oh boy. That is 17.
And then I'm going to flurry of blows.
Oh good.
And he kind of like squats and just like palm of his hand hits you in the solar plexus. Go ahead and give me another constitution saving throw.
Oof.
Oh god. That's a 7.
There you go.
Yeah. It was
and
only a matter of time.
You feel your body begin to like rebel against you as your body locks up and is just tense in this moment. He's like, honestly, that was really good. Like, usually a lot of people crumble on the first. I kind of expected you to, but like, impressive. Try and knock me down. As you feel your like the control of your arms kind of come back to you. Hi, Angel. You hear a voice through the door, Roshan, as you kind of pass by. You hear "Hello, Angel" from Russ.
Amazing.
I think he'll stop and stare at this fight at least for a few seconds as Nana returns the flurry.
Return the flurry.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll try to assist because he doesn't want to get too close.
Yeah. So he's instructed you to knock him over.
Cool. Okay.
We're being a bit loosey-goosey with the rules in this moment.
Yeah, that's fine. So then Nana's going to go in for an attack with... Well, first she's going to bonus action Slayer's Prey. And then she is going to action hit him with her sword real good, I hope. Probably not good enough. But 14?
14, you kind of watch him just like kind of lean out of the way, just leans out of the way.
Yep.
Come
All
on.
right.
Another
All
one.
right.
Let's go. Knock me over.
Oh, yeah, that's more like it. 25.
That will certainly hit. What are we doing?
Fabulous. Fabulous.
You
Okay,
need
so,
not roll damage if you don't want to.
all right. In which case, I am flipping a trip attack on that. So,
What does he need to roll?
trip attack requires I think it is strength saving
Strength
throw.
saving throw?
Check.
I'm pretty
Yes.
sure.
I mean, we'll see.
What's the save?
16.
How do you knock this man over?
Hell yeah! Oh, okay. So Nana gets in under his guard. He's a big guy. She's much smaller. She goes in, gives a slash with the sword to kind of get him off his balance, and then cuts with her foot right under his foot, right at the back of his knee. Send him down, knock him over, flat on the floor. And pin.
Yeah, you sort of have sword to him. Let's see if he feels like doing anything else or if he has learned a lesson. As you get him to the ground, out of the corner of the eye, you see his leg moving towards like the back of your knee.
All right.
He is going to parry.
Cool. Amazing.
That's an 18 on the dice.
Yeah, that'll do it.
He burns his superiority dice and just kind of like hits you in the back of the knee. Give me another Constitution saving throw.
Yep. Whew. It's an 18.
All right, and you feel like your knee swing forward and try to lock up, and you're able to like you grab onto the post of the bed and like are able to like kind of like pull yourself back up. As Russ does that thing, where you lean back and then you jump up and you like land both feet up. And he kind of like
so
he like puts a
cool.
hand up and he's like, I see. I see. Nana, here's my assessment, and once again, I was in a worm when you were in actual combat.
Right.
I think you are talented, you are quite powerful, you are at least adept in what you do. A lot of these people have been training for years for one-on-one combat. A lot of these people, this is what they're made for. I think you stand a chance. I don't know Dacian May well, but I think he is at least in your weight class, That's my vague assessment of it. Not every fight is one with sword and swing. If you are against an enemy where they are stronger, they are tougher, and they are nastier, which is very, very likely at this party, you have to do something different. And you go in hard. At the top, no holding back. You hit as hard as you can over and over and over again. But everyone has a weakness, whether that is their fragile bones or their weak jaw or their emotions.
Or that super singeable hair.
It's true. Maybe Dacian is very invested. And like, I mean this with the greatest respect. If we were in combat, you would have to emotionally rip me apart to get me off my game. And you may have to do that with someone else. You have to get them off their game, or they're going to rip you to pieces physically. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you can get under somebody's skin, they're not going to be at their best. They don't have a friend to support them in combat. It's just them, their feelings. Just something to consider. You got to fight dirty.
If I knew more about him, might help.
I wish I could tell you more, but if he seems insecure about his pointy elbows or something, like, just keep it in mind.
Right.
If you find out his trauma, if he trauma dumps on you before the fight, we'll keep that in mind. It's just, you got to use every tactic you got,
Of course.
even if it doesn't feel good.
All right.
You're gonna be fine. And he like claps you kind of hard, like on the back of the neck, and then kind of squeezes right below, like right behind the jaw. One more Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God. Oh, shit.
Sneak attack.
It's a 2 on the dice, so a total of 4.
And your body freezes up, and he just sort of like, kind of like scoops you up and just sort of like kind of like plops you down on the bed. There you go.
Wow.
Well done.
Thanks. I appreciate
You said your feet were killing you, so.
Yes, you're right. That was thank you.
Fen is furiously taking notes on.
Yes. Those are my only words of wisdom. That's all I got.
Those were excellent words of wisdom, Russ. Honestly, thank you.
Yeah, usually I don't have to emotionally torment my opponent, but nobody here would judge you for it. Well, nobody there would judge you for it.
Right. And I suppose everybody here understands that it's in the name of making a good name at there. So.
And also, if you're gathering things to prepare yourself, if there are spells or items, get them before you walk into that gate. Because even though it is legal for them to boost you before a fight is called into question, it will immediately be called into question by the judge and by the opinion of the people if somebody hands you an item before the fight takes place in those walls. So get everything you need, stock it, store it, carry it with you, but don't have anybody hand you anything unless it is very apparent. But I wouldn't let any of them give you anything.
Okay. All right. I can do that. Actually, Russ, one other thing I wanted to know. There's something I can do, being a ranger. I can look at somebody or something and sort of glean immunities, resistances, vulnerabilities, that sort of thing. Is that something that you think there's any usefulness in trying to apply on Dacian before going into combat, or do you think he's really not rocking that much? Interesting.
So the thing is, you are allowed to do anything you want to yourself before combat.
Yeah.
Buff yourself in any way you want to. You cannot cast anything upon your opponent before starting the match. You cannot negatively affect them in any way. If this is just you having the intuition to observe them and understand them, and it does nothing to them, it's probably fine. Could be subtle, but if you're just sizing them up, it's probably fine.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. No, it's nothing that would hinder him, debuff him, anything like that. It's purely knowledge based.
It's probably fine.
All right. Good. So long as nobody sees me like just looking real hard at him and be like, "No, you're not allowed to do that. Stop it."
Yeah, as long as you can stare somebody down. That's fine. You're about to fight. So it's probably fine. And the thing is, if somebody sees you doing it and it's not, they'll probably step in and tell you not to do it.
All right. Well, at least it's not a harder slap on the wrist than that.
And at worst, somebody else probably has to kick somebody's ass, or you just kind of accept that your status situation is in the tank and you just have a good time and then you move on.
I am hoping not to tank the entire party's reputation all at once. We'll see. I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
I think Roshan had stepped away for a second, but comes back and says, "Oh, I looked at Jinli's friends, Russ. If the lizard person didn't have anything magical, probably has a magical weapon stored at the party. The other one, was she a human woman?
She looked like she may have had some sort of fey elven descent. You're not entirely positive.
The fey human, I don't know what she is.
You didn't ask, respectfully.
Yeah. She had magical bracers and something magical tied into her hair, and I don't know if you're into hair pulling, but could be a decent idea to get it out of her hair if you have any trouble with her. If Jinli puts up and doesn't cower away, not that I think she would.
Well, she'll pick her best, if at all. And thank you for the information. I will punch them both very hard, and maybe I will rip something out of someone's hair. We'll see how it goes.
Sounds like a fun time. Nana says from the bed.
If you protect our honor, Russ, I will kiss you on the mouth. I owe you at least that much.
You watch his eyes water.
Honestly.
You watch his lip begin to quiver a bit.
And then I think Roshan will turn around and gracefully walk from the room.
Wait, Roshan!
Oh, did you need something?
Just a hellish rebuke for the ring of spell storing, so it's not taking up your spell slot tomorrow.
Oh, sure. He holds his hand out for the ring, and he'll grasp it in his hand, and just a whisper of black fire will course around his hand as he puts it into the ring, and then gives it back.
Thank you. Hopefully that'll be of good use tomorrow. Your walk back was all right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Roshan's going to mention the carriage because there really isn't much to mention other than slow-moving carriage that got close and then turned around. So
we went the wrong way, they said, and turned around.
They were just trying to find a street name, obviously.
Yeah, they must have missed
They're
it.
like, we've gone too far. That's the hard fiddle. We went the wrong way.
No,
That's not where we want to be.
No.
Opposite side of town.
But spells are acquired. Costumes of an immaculate nature are doffed. Is there anything before bed? Because you have tomorrow until like late afternoon to do anything else.
Fenn's gonna spend some time with Jenny, and like he might have snuck some junk food from the party to like feed her little bits of it. She deserves it.
She loves that.
Good for Jenny.
Fully content to eat what a bird should not. She's happy to partake.
And like in true sleepover fashion, like when Nana's like just about asleep, Fenn's gonna be like, Nana, are you awake?
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, you must be sleeping.
No, it's fine. What? What's up, then?
I think that Corinne might be politically married to that guy we saw with Egil outside of the place.
Yes, I think that's true, Fen. I think you're right.
Okay. I'll see you in the morning. Good night, Nana.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay. All right. Take care of yourself.
Okie dokie. Well, everyone begins to drift off into beautiful, well-needed sleep after a very active evening. And as the sun begins to rise the next day, you get a long rest. And that is where we're going to take our first break. And only break. We don't do multiple breaks.
I was like,
We're
wait.
going to have our first one.
Only
You guys
other
can't
break
leave.
is the one where we stop.
We're here forever now. Thank you for being here. Go get a snack and a drink. And we will be back in 10 minutes. See you guys then. everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 154 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took a little bit of a break. The party returned from the party, and just looked at Mac too, just frozen mid-wave. It's very fun. You guys are getting to see that too. It was fun.
Cool. Oh yeah, it's on the Twitch there. Now it's not.
Yeah, it's howdy. We just took a break. Everybody returned from the party safe and sound. Some prepping for possibly inevitable dueling the next day at the party was performed. Getting spells and items at the ready, and Russ also giving advice that if somebody is bigger and stronger than you, which is likely because these people are like bred for this, you got to hit them where it hurts. You got to break them apart. You got to get them off their game. You got to do whatever it takes to win, because they're going to do the same thing. And with that, everyone wakes up the next day after a long rest. What are we doing as we all gather together to prepare for another day?
Roshan spent most of the evening setting out his enchanting ingredients and is going to spend a few hours enchanting his outfit. Well, the shirt of his outfit.
Go ahead and roll for me DC 17.
That's a 9 plus like 15.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel pretty confident in what you've done to this outfit. You are unsure about the longevity. From how quickly you accomplish things, you're like, will this last forever? You don't think so. But you think you'll at least get through the party with what you want.
It's like that one sketchy part of your cosplay. You're like, is this going to survive the con? Hard to say.
You just keep putting hot glue on it over and over and hope for the best.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's fine.
Hot glue, do a couple extra whip stitches, throw in some.
You just
prayers
walk
to
really
Buddha.
slow the whole time. You're like, just baby steps. But yeah, you feel pretty confident about that. Is there anything else anybody is doing before the party kicks off?
Keld's probably gonna regroup with Nyx. Like, should I still bring my armor?
Maybe just in case. Yeah. It helps. It doesn't seem like you'll need it, but I don't know. I don't trust her.
That's fair. Better safe than sorry, I guess.
I have to run to that magic store because I never learned what these candies do. Do you want to come with?
Oh. Okay.
I just learned that they do a bunch of different things, and I bought them.
Oh, so we have mystery candies.
Because I don't know if they're useful, and we should maybe give Nana one for her fight or not. Or if it's just going to like put her in a bubble and her not be able to fight.
We don't want to give her a disadvantage.
Right. So I have to go do that.
Who's running to the magic shop?
Me and Keld.
Alrighty. You make your way over. The shop owner seems to like be opening shop. Good morning. Have you did you enjoy your items, your rings? I hope they were satisfactory.
Those are great. So I bought those sugar bombs, and I didn't ask what they do.
Oh, well, I can't say 100%. They have a random effect.
Right.
Oh.
But would it be a bad thing to use it in a fight? Or a good thing?
I was informed. Well, I assisted in the making of these. All of the outcomes, to the best of my knowledge, are good. I don't think there's I mean, we were considering making some that could possibly have bad outcomes as like a bit of a prank, I suppose. But all of them have positive effects that would be useful depending. But many are combat centric, I suppose.
Great. All right, that's it. I just needed to know because I didn't want to give it to my friend and then end up ruining her day.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, that sounds like a thing a good friend would do.
Right. Thank you. Start walking out.
And you guys immediately walk back away. If you put this candle underwater, it won't go out.
I remember that.
Listen, it's a good find. All right.
I can give you 5 copper for it.
Sadly, that won't pay. If you have 5 gold, we can certainly talk about it at some point.
I don't have that.
That's okay. I appreciate your patronage.
Mhm.
And then you all jog back.
Actually, while they're walking, so the other night when I did the thing for Russ with that bracelet, I went in to like his dream, and I think you were also there having a nightmare, and I didn't get to go there, and I wanted to see if you're okay. Because I know he's okay, but are you okay?
Well, so you're in my dream too?
I think I had the choice because I could hear both of you.
Huh. I did have a very bad dream.
Do you want to talk
I'm
about it?
okay, but
What?
just made me worried about you.
I'm okay.
You sure?
And I'm worried about everything going on at the party, but I feel fine. The
Me
the
too.
thing, I don't know if you saw it, it was the mark. It was wobbling when I got really worried.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh. So it does work.
I guess so. It at least is a good warning sign of if things are getting bad. But
Oh, I forgot to test out the ring.
we did it when we were running around. We can test it out tonight.
Okay.
At some point, we should split off and then
Hmm.
use it to find each other.
Yeah. Need to make sure that works.
I like it. Whoever goes in first, we'll have to like go hide or something, like a game.
Count to 20 and then.
All right. And the two of you go back to the inn. You go back inside and see Russ sitting at a table talking to Brynja, his companion, who you haven't seen in a few days now.
Ooh.
It looks like a bit of a kind of a stoic conversation. And like as you're walking in, he like cups the back of her neck and presses their foreheads together and just kind of like stays like that for a moment. And she pats his shoulder and stands up. And she looks to you as you walk in. And there's no malice or anything like that. It's just acknowledging that you've entered, gives you a slight nod, and then makes her way upstairs. We're good.
Does he seem like he's good?
Let's rollies about it. You're welcome to do insight.
27.
Okay, I actually have to do the math.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
27.
Oh, okay. Did I need to do the math? Probably not that much. Russ has always been pretty good at a straight face, at a smile and a relaxed nature. You're not getting any like falsehood from that, but there's probably more emotions around it than that.
Okay.
Hey, it's fully me. Nothing to do with any of the new people hopping around. It's just me and Brynja. It's not about us, I promise.
That doesn't mean I can't worry about it.
That's true. You're welcome to worry about it on my behalf.
Exactly.
Because I'm not going to worry about it right now.
Okay.
And like he kind of motions like I would talk more upstairs, and kind of like gets up, putting like a whole dinner roll in his mouth. Just oh.
If there's more of them, we will bring it with.
And you take a plate of dinner rolls up with you. Texas Roadhouse, they're
We were
delicious little
running.
biscuits that you guys steal.
Wow, did we get the butter too? Or is it just the
Oh yeah,
rolls?
you pick
Okay.
up the little
Great.
container of butter. Come up. Keld, are you sticking with them? Or are you like, is this my business? Is it not? Nobody told you to go away, so it's up to you if you follow them.
Seems like more their business, so Keld will just sort of like nod and step away.
Just fades back.
Find your own basket of rolls and
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like,
there's
Yeah,
free
yeah.
bread
"More
out for
food?"
the party. He's like, hey, is there more? But Russ goes upstairs with you. I, I, it's nothing to worry about, but I don't. I told you I don't want there to be secrets, so there's no point in keeping things from you. Uh, Brynja was not upset about the impulsiveness of the marriage, which I can agree was a little impulsive, but I don't think was wrong by any stretch. Nothing wrong with an impulsive choice, in my humble opinion. I think it was probably my best choice, out of many, many choices I have made over time. Um, she was upset that I spent near triple on the ring than it cost, but we resolved that. This was something that was building up for a minute now. When I told you and your friends a story while we were on the road, and I included a piece that I hadn't before. That the archer was still alive. That I had not taken care of all of my baggage. And that is what Brynja was upset about, is that I kept this secret, and also that I've been toting this badge of letting things go and dealing with your problems and getting them done and dusted, and here I am, not practicing what is preached. And I truly thought I did not think she was going to come back, I'm going to be honest.
I think she'll just sit down with him. I'm glad she did. I don't know. That's feels like such a small part for her to be so mad about. But what's the plan then? Like, are you gonna forget him? Do you want my help finding this person?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I can't let it go. I'd love to. but I can't. But I'm a busy guy. Plenty of work that still needs doing, and I'm going to do it. I can't take time out of other people's schedules because I fucked up. I said I was done and I wasn't.
What if I look into it for you then? If you don't have the time, I have the time.
Nix, you already have so much going on, and you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to spread your focus out further.
But I can. I don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what's going to happen, but I want to be able to help everyone how I can, while I can. And if that's me finding this person's name and trying to see where they are and helping you, then that's what I'll do.
Nix, I'm very afraid. I'm afraid for you. I'm afraid of what happens when I'm done. I'm scared to finish it. I'm scared of who that is. But I can't see a me that doesn't. I just don't know what to do. And I'm scared to seek this out, and I'm scared to let it fester, because if I let it fester and someone pays the price for that,
She's just gonna wrap her arms around him, kind of lean into him. I'll help you figure it out. At least let me do that. I'm scared too, but we can help each other.
okay. Yeah, we can do that. I'm gonna throw myself off my own game, and kind of collapses, like, okay.
We have a few hours. It's here. Hands him another roll covered in the butter.
I just it just keeps putting rolls into his mouth. That's the only way to restore ki, is to eat dinner rolls and
That's
just
the
carve
actual
up.
drug at this party that gives you everything back.
Yeah, forget the drugs. It's these dinner rolls that really be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The carbs, man. That's what does
You
it.
gotta.
That's ki. That's what ki is. It's just carbs. But Russ eventually sort of kind of falls back into a normal Russ that you are more accustomed to, and probably has to spend a shit ton of time getting his armor back on at some point.
Yeah, we both a lot of time for these two outfits.
Yeah, it's like, all right. Is there anything before heading to the party? You can go for it when you raise your finger, and then nobody else. Everyone's like, please.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like beat bopping around the party, definitely gonna inquire with Fen. I don't suppose you're intending on using your ring of protection for a duel tonight, are you?
I wasn't planning on starting a fight, but by all means, take it. If you only get in the one when you're done, give it back. But other than that, no. Do you need a refresher on how it works, or?
No, I think I'm familiar enough. I appreciate it. I will definitely get it right back to you after I'm done with my duel. It's going to happen sometime tonight, so I just want to be prepared.
Fine. Remember, you need to attune to it. So take a moment
Right.
and get in touch with the way it feels on your finger, or however attunement works. You should eat something, Nana. You look famished.
Yeah. I was just thinking about grabbing maybe something from the bar potentially. I don't know.
And everybody can eat spring rolls. And there's spring rolls down there, guys.
Yeah.
It's now
Dinner rolls, spring
sweet.
rolls,
dinner
all
rolls,
kinds of
spring
rolls,
rolls,
man.
basil rolls,
Wow.
whatever. If it says
Calamari
roll, we got it.
We got it.
Tootsie roll. Follow your heart downstairs.
Oh wow.
Did Kel make anything for breakfast?
Kel, did you
I'm
make
not
anything for
sure.
your friends?
Yes, that's what I wanted to do.
Ah,
I wanted to make some of my, trademark snacks.
Kel makes
TM.
snacks.
TM.
And what do these snacks do for your compatriots if they were to consume?
If they were to consume them, they get these ones. Get some temp HP. How many is the question?
Way to take the one feat that no one has taken in the history of this game.
It's honestly
bonus,
such
which is
a good feat,
I
though.
don't know what it is
Is it
right
your
now.
cook treats?
Yeah.
5.
Uh,
You
yeah.
get 5 temp HP for those.
5 temp HP.
Yeah.
How long does that last?
No.
The treats last 8 hours after being made.
And how
Yeah.
long does the effect last after eating?
Till a
Just for the
long
8
rest.
hours? Oh, okay. Cool. Woo! Nice.
So probably best to consume like right before you go into the party and then have it at the ready. Instead of like before a fight, like just like shoving a snack into your mouth and being like, I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what the candy's for.
That's
It's
what
true.
Russ would do.
It's true. He's like, hold on.
Hold up.
Having a snack.
hold
I
on.
have been snacking around here, but I also brought my own.
Nix, are you
Monkey bread.
presenting that? Are you presenting that the candy to Nana before the party,
Yes.
or
Before
okay.
we go, give her one to bring with.
Thank you very much.
To help with your fight, I don't know what it'll do, but the guy says it'll only be a good thing.
All right. I can't see why that would hurt. It's a candy, so I'm assuming probably best to just go ahead and have it right before the duel.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Do you know if it's like?
God's gonna put some treats in Russ's hands too while he's at it.
Is it one of those really dense ones that you don't want to chew down on?
I haven't had one.
Here's a jobber.
Crunch,
It'd be
crunch,
useful
crunch.
now.
It looks like it at least has like a hard shell like outside, but you're like, maybe you're able to bite into it. You're welcome to try and like squeeze it with your fingers, but like you would, if it does give, it'll give.
Yeah. Maybe that's not a good thing to do before you're ready to eat it. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Should be fine. Thank you very much, Next. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Hopefully this will be interesting in a good way. There's so much about this fight that's going to be interesting anyway. We'll see if this is good or bad.
Any
Probably.
leg up that you can get is, take it.
True.
Have some faith in yourself, Nana.
Well, I mean, I'm trying. I feel like this is a fight I can do. I do feel like that, but I am nervous.
Who all got snacks from Keld?
How many
I don't
snacks?
remember
do you
how
make?
many I can make. I think I can make enough for everyone.
Yeah, you can make 9.
Ah, that's what that's for.
So you can make one for each of the ladies and us and
Ooh.
Russ.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Wow.
Everyone will
Hot
like.
Everyone
damn!
gets a snack.
Make sure nobody's
All
fighting
the
one of the
important
ladies.
characters. Yeah.
Maggie, when you give her hers, like looks over to Thor. You fully domesticated him, wow. And
my God.
like kind of like hip bumps past you. She's not very strong. She
Became pre-domesticated.
even better. And sort of like laughs as she like looks at the snack and kind of just like a little smile as she looks at it and like kind of pulls like a piece of fabric out of her pocket and begins to like wrap it so that she can store it for later.
Good call.
I better get the thunder and lightning going, I guess. And Thor follows behind Maggie to go outside. Is there anything before we all trek once again to the gates? Okay.
I think we're ready.
We're ready, boys. There is the sound of a quick oncoming storm and the crash of thunder and the flash of lightning as Thor re-ashes an arm.
Nice.
Well, I didn't do anything to beef it up at all, did I? Oh, shit. And then grabs the other sleeve and just fully rips it off and sort of tosses it to the side. It's like, raises a hand. And the lightning strikes again, and both arms are charred and dark with the remnants of a lightning strike. There we go. I just made it, you know how the party is. Make it do the same thing but double or whatever.
Keld's gonna hold up his sword, gesturing to Thor. We should come up with something together. Nyx and I have this move with lightning.
Oh, well, you'd have to talk to. Well, I can do lightning. This is, lightning from the sky is Maggie's work, but I mean, I can give you just you saw a little bit of it, and like, Thor's wearing like this really tight bodice and these kind of like tight sort of kind of legging situations, but on top of that is like a pretty heavy layered skirt that's like pulled up in the front and tied off, so that it's already like a nice dainty woman who picked up her skirt to walk down the stairs, but just like that perpetually. And you see reaches for the sides of the leggings, and you see that where the sides of the thighs are, there are pieces that pull away to expose the skin on the side of the thigh. And she kind of like shakes her hands a bit. You can figure out if something works with this, but and you watch as she sort of like slips her fingers into these sort of like kind of little rings inside of her gauntlets, and you watch as she pulls them, the top of the gauntlets, these tiny little blades pop out in different shapes, and she pulls down on a few of the rings in kind of a different pattern and slams her fists against the sides of her thighs, the blades digging into the skin. And as she pulls the gauntlets back and away, lightning crackles between the thighs and the gauntlets. And she sort of like, almost like a strung bow, just like pulls at it and like moves it around. And then kind of just like almost throws it down as it dissipates. I can do things like that. Oh, it's me, Russ. Haha! And he pulls his mask off. Oh no!
Haha, you had your fooled!
I've gotten my dates all mixed up now.
I was taking the both of you.
Thor standing next to
We traded for the night.
wait.
Yeah.
Swap.
Date swap.
But
Sibling
you
swap.
can see on her thighs there are where these blades have dug in, it is runic shapes, almost
Oh.
like a little incantation. And
Huh.
she sort of kind of just like wipes at them a bit and then like kind of reapplies that patch. I had it made so that I didn't just destroy the outfit if I was in combat, but if you want some lightning, I can do lightning. I can also do some fucked up shit. But, you know, listen, if both of
Now
us
I'm
have to just.
curious.
Well, there's only one way to find that shit out, Keld.
Hmm. It's true.
Really fucking true. Just this kind of twisted little smile. All right. Let's follow the prince and princess, and kind of like, kind of looks over to the carriage. She thinks we're royalty.
Teaching her right again.
I
Do we have
won't
to
catch
wave
a
like
ride
that?
this time. Only to leave. I don't. It wouldn't be proper to ride in on the top of your cart. That would. But leaving, what are you gonna do? But
Leaving, everybody's blasted.
yeah, you can do whatever you want when you step out of those gates. But walking into them, you kind of have to. You set your boundaries. And I won't step on Red's toes. As much as I would honestly like to. God, what a good fucking fight. And just like, there is just a moment where it's like Thor can picture the combat. Like, she can see it in her mind's eye. And then kind of like pats Keld's shoulder. All right, let's start walking. Let's go. And people begin making their way back. Some people on cart. Fen, how are we escorting ourselves today?
We will see.
Let's find out.
Fen reaches into the bag and he pulls out a ball of fuzz, throws it on the ground, and it's a weasel. So he'll reach back
Amazing!
into the bag
Aha.
Hmm.
Is it
and
another?
he pulls out another weasel.
Oh my god!
Weasels. There's a puff of smoke, and then it's a weasel again.
Ah. Hmm.
And
time.
there's a badger. So Fen's just going to dismiss the badger and he's going to walk.
There you go.
Fine.
Nice try.
Weasel, badger.
Is it
Stick
at
That's
least
my-
a dire badger?
Sticking
No.
with the mustelids. No, just a badger.
Ah,
just a normal badger.
Regular badger.
Not even a honey
And-
badger, man.
And everybody is content to make their way to the gates. You all, most of you now on foot, make your way forwards for day 2 of the party with some thoughts in mind of what to accomplish. You can see that like Thor sort of leans into the ladies and is like, you catch bits and pieces. She's describing what Clove Kid looks like.
Hmm.
And seems to be relaying that information to them.
Yeah. He's relieved she didn't forget.
Look at her with her not completely smooth brain.
It's an
Admirable,
accomplishment,
really.
honestly.
Truly
Can't
a
relate,
gift.
but like,
And that brain it has a couple wrinkles in it. I was curious. I'm just like, how many wrinkles are in this brain? A
she got
couple.
a couple. She got a
There's a
couple.
couple wrinkles.
Yeah,
There's a couple.
she knows her tactics.
The brain can function a bit. Not maybe as smart as her companions, but nonetheless. All of you make your way forward. Nyx and Russ are going to arrive first. You're waiting in line and kind of like, you can see that compared to yesterday, there is a much larger display a bit when it comes to the outfits. Like occasionally the person in line, you would see like a bit of magic go off and display itself. This seems much more prominent today as more people are presenting themselves at a slightly more elevated degree this fine day. You are in the line for a hot minute. You can see multiple beautiful and interesting people. An interesting person catches your eye as you try to analyze the situation. There's just a bear.
Nice.
It's just a bear wearing a little like blue jacket with like silver lining and has like a little silvered cane and is just standing on two legs and just
Fancy.
walking forward, waiting in line to go inside. And as you're like that's a whole bear just there. Um, the rest of the party arrives in their little group to get in line. All of you can see that it's like beautiful people with magic and a bear in a jacket with a cane.
But is it a bad
Fenn's-
news bear?
Fen is gonna tug on Nana's sleeve. Well, she's got the big droopy sleeves, right?
She's
She
got
has
like
like a little like
Yeah,
little
like the
sashy
yeah,
thing that
the
runs from her
sash. Yeah,
shoulder down to
gonna
her.
tug on Nana's sash. Be like,
Yeah.
I think I know who that is.
Nana looks where he's looking.
Do you? I mean, there can't be more than one,
You've seen
right?
this bear.
My
Depends
sister
on who you
Juniper.
mean.
My sister Juniper. You'd have been a small child the last time she was home, but she met a bear who was a man somewhere along the road in her travels. She told the story of it. They helped him out with something, changed a cartwheel or something, the broken axle on a cart or something.
Okay.
Unless there's more than one bear person, I think I know who that is.
Well, assuming it's a bear who is a person and not just a bear that's somebody dressed up very, very cutely.
And is walking with a cane?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how thoroughly some of these people can afford to train their bears.
Well, that's either it's a very good outfit for this party, or that is Badgerman.
Benjamin?
His name was Badgerman. At least that's the name he gave, or that Juniper recalled to me.
Huh. Interesting.
We'll need to make introductions later. It seemed a fine fellow from the retelling.
Fair enough. I mean, if he's a friendly sort, I don't see why not. Nana's kind of also got her head on a swivel. She's sort of looking around to see if she can catch sight of Dacian May in the lead up to walking into the party. If so, she would like to him with Hunter's sense just to kind of low-key get a scope on him, but if not... Anyway.
Roll a luck check. I need a 15 or higher for you to show up at the same time as Dacian.
Understood. Let's see what we can do. Luck check. Holy shit! That's a 19!
There you go. So, Kalukale, what a lucky day. But
what a lucky day.
You can see approaching Tan. So you see Tan's on her way to line. But you also see near the front of the line a well-dressed young woman wearing pinks and frills standing next to Dacian wearing her colors. But you would have to... What's the range on this?
The range on Hunter's sense... Let me just double check and make sure. I think it is like 30... No, 60 feet.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and give me stealth.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage because you can do this from quite a distance. So
yeah, pretty subtle. Right. That 16.
Passive perception. There is a moment while you're like hanging back. And kind of, you have to like make your way to the side and be kind of parallel from a distance. Okay. Because you're just trying to get eyes on him. You're trying to get good take-in of his form.
Yeah.
And there is a moment where both of you make full eye contact as he
Um,
looks over at you. What does your
doing-
ability garner you?
It garners me whether the creature has any damage immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, and what they are, if the creature is not hidden from divination magic.
All right. Dacian May is a bugbear.
Not
And
surprising.
has no resistances, immunities, or vulnerabilities.
Got it. Okay. Nothing surprising under the hood then. Nana will
And
give Dacian May a respectful nod and make her way back over towards the line, kind of like making as if she's kind of like doing a sweep, just sort of looking around,
I'm
seeing
just
who's
looking.
around. I'm
Okay.
just looking.
And all of you get into line to enter. Tan sidles up next to you, Nana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's my idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to wait for some build up on this. We don't want to be the first fight of the night.
Right.
We wait it out. Maybe whoever you're thinking will have some drinks, and that'd be a great time to move in after those sit in, I think. I also have I had somebody drop it off earlier with the doorman, but it's not exactly made for your body type. It is something that could really give you an edge in combat, or at least somebody an edge in combat, but it is going to, and she like looks you over, it's going to weigh you down. So you can decide if you're willing to give up mobility for a little extra damage.
Well,
But you can think on it.
yeah. Let me have a look at it if I'm able, or if you can give
Yeah.
me a description for it.
Yeah, it's she kind of like lowers her voice.
Hmm.
So it's a prototype that I've been working on, so this is just a good way for me to learn about it too. But it's a back piece.
Ooh.
It's a pretty heavy back piece as it needs to do a pretty solid output of power that you can use it to grab on to enemies and hold them in front of you for them to, it hurts when it grabs them, it hurts if they try to leave, but
Hmm.
it's heavy. I've not
Hmm.
been able to make this thing light.
Hmm. Well, the weight certainly leans into how it functions. Okay. I'll
But
I'll look it
I
over.
just,
I'll look it over and
yeah,
I'll think it over.
yeah, think about it. It's fine either way with me. It's just, it'll it'll hurt more, but you're not going anywhere. And this is Jillian speak for your mobility feat will be null and void during this while you're wearing this item, and you will be at half speed.
Ooh. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you can ponder that.
Yeah. Yeah, Nana will ponder that. Real quick, she is also just going to throw in you mentioned it was a prototype. One of your own design or someone who works
Oh.
for you?
Well, it's my project. I made the design, but I'm not the only one working on it. But it's kind of one of my first things, kind of hitting the floor. Um, Maybe something to present to the masses at some point.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Um, Mom and Dad really loved the big stuff, and I think the future's in a bit smaller and more compact firepower.
Well, speaking as a more typically mobile fighter myself, if I had a similar boon with something that didn't impede my movement, I could see that being a very useful item to have.
that's still in the works, but we'll
Sure.
see. But for right now, this thing will stab you straight under the armor and rip your insides apart. But
Whew.
it's
All right.
it's hard to hold. Um, Either way,
Okay.
just you can decide if it's a fair trade-off, but we'll see. Who did you
I
pick?
don't. Well, I was just going to ask. I feel Dacian May seems to be a solid contender. The reach is going to be something of a problem, but something that I can work around.
Yeah. If you pick to use my item, I would take as small of an arena as you could.
Hmm.
Because this is going to keep him on you anyways, and that would be the goal. So
All right.
that's the only tidbit I got.
I appreciate it. Really, thank you.
Yep. Okay, let's go. And kind of brushes her hair back, and you can see these dangling, like moving mechanical pieces on her mask. And it kind of dawns on you that it's possible she also made her mask, knowing
Wow.
that now she is seems to be the tinkering type.
Hmm.
This may be her invention, it might not be, but it's certainly a piece of who she is.
Hmm.
And all of you begin to make your way through the line. Um, we are about to do our fun little display, and if your outfit is the same, you're welcome to give me a little rundown of what it looks like if you're so inclined. But if you have something different, we'd love to hear about it. And Nix, you are first in the party.
Yeah. Nix's is primarily the same silver dress, the gloves, the chain necklaces, and the mask. Really intricate. But she is using shape water throughout the whole night to extend the ice from her shoulder down in spiderweb like patterns across her dress. And because I can change the color, she'll change it up periodically between the different colors that they're wearing. So gold, red, sometimes blue, sometimes just completely matching the ice on her.
Uh, Red, blue, sometimes ice.
Yeah, sometimes
Um,
regular ice.
um, yeah. And you and Russ begin to make your way inside, a bit behind Benjamin,
Just
who
keeps looking at him. Is that a bear?
just walks in, head held high, seems to like nod and seems to acknowledge people, and you can see the mouth moving from where you are, but you're like, I can't hear him. He's too far away.
Mm.
Um, but Benjamin continues onwards and inwards. Roshan, you enter the party.
So Roshan also looks very similar to last night. He's wearing uh, kind of a designer. I would call it a onesie, but it's much more chic than that. Um, but
Onesies are
the
all the
shirt
rage.
underneath now begins to just subtly glow in the color of I guess the main color of whoever he is talking to. So while he is in line
Hmm.
with Amelie, his shirt begins to start to glow a little bit blue in the same shade as hers,
Uh,
and will change
Oh,
when he starts talking to other people too.
she
that's
smiles.
neat.
Look at that, isn't that fancy? And she smiles real big.
I thought it might be nice to match even a little more.
Mmm, that's a good idea. Come on, let's go show off. And
Let's do it.
the two of you walk in to the party. Next, we will do. Okay. Keld, you and the ladies walk in as they place the charred bones of their enemy upon their bodies. Is there any difference for you?
No, Kel did not plan separate outfits for this event, but he would ask for another mask from the ladies.
Mm-hmm. Thor would take an arm, now both available, and kind of runs it across your face. There we go. Themed. And she smirks. And the two of you make your way into the party. But before that, are you checking anything in?
Yes. This day, Keld is bringing his armor and his sword with him, so he'll check those in.
Okay, so you check in your sword, and you check in which armor?
I guess his more fancy armor, the
Your
gleaming.
gleaming armor? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, you check those things in as they kind of disappear into this void where they are kept, and you make your way into the party. Following that is Fen.
Every physical piece, Fenn gives a little shake of his cloak, and every physical piece of Fenn's raiment remains, but the reliefed oak leaves on his vambraces, which were brushed forest green last night, now appear shades of umber, burnt orange, and scarlet. His cloak, too, once a rich green, is a deep ruddy red. The spectral butterflies and flower petals, which floated and flitted around him, kind of disperse. And now there's colorful autumn leaves swirling in a crisp, blustery, magical breeze. The leaves of his mask and circlet appear more copper than bronze, and the antlers that on his head have lost the moss that were on them, and they're now tipped with sanguine crimson. The soft, pale rainbow of the pearls now appear more amber and vermilion glow of a bonfire. Anyone standing within the illusory leaves may catch the subtle aroma of distant wood smoke and sweet cider. So he's got a real resplendent colors of autumn thing going on.
Wow.
Vibe.
And
Fall
Fen
vibes.
walks in alone, but certainly striking quite the silhouette. Um, Nana, you and Tan walk in.
Nana's outfit is mostly the same. I think that she's just she sought out some like honestly just a bit of mud to kind of like underscore along her cheeks. Under where the half mask covers, just to add a little bit of variety from the night before. It's nothing crazy, but she's going to be checking in her Galunder-inspired studded leather armor, as well as her belt of returning, which has her 3 spears loaded on it. She will be keeping her ranger's pouch, which has the scroll of blur in it, and her sword on its sheath on there. But she'll be checking in the flower pommel dagger.
Okie dokie. And if I missed anybody, first off, oops. But secondly, is there anybody who is checking something in that did not say so, or I did not ask?
I'm
Yes.
putting my cloak in again.
Okay,
Yeah, checking my bow
gotcha.
and the arrows, just so that's
yeah.
clear.
Yeah, I'll where are my arrows? I will be asking for, once again, I will ask for like an itemized list so that we all have it on hand of what we have on our person and what we have checked in. But that need not be done right now. All of you make your way into the party all pretty close together. Actually, this time in a place where you could like be close, and everybody sort of like looking around and talking. Roshan, arm in arm with his date, who seems to be scanning and like looking over people. Um, Many people like nod and give like quarter bows if they do not come and interact with her immediately. Um, Amelie seems to be once again in her element, having a good time. Um, you all make your way forward, and as you are walking, it is like it is still the same party. It is the warmer atmosphere. It is the feeling of a summer night. There are people laying across the trees, but they seem to be more active tonight, moving and shifting in place instead of being these stoic statues, almost moving as if leaves on the wind, slowly rustling from side to side, moving in unison. Everybody leans the same way together, but not exactly in the same exact way. But it is as if they know where to move: backwards, forwards, head down, body bent. They all seem to at least have the same idea of what to do, even if it is different for each individual person. There are beautiful fabrics that they are suspended from and seem to dance with and like twist around their arms so that they may lean further from the tree and move and dance. It is definitely more lively in that sense, but also in the sense of the people attending, as their outfits shine brightly and glow in the dim light and have energy that moves off of them and around them. It's everybody, almost everybody here has an extra bit of flair now. It is everybody is bringing their second best to the event. Many outfits that were not magically inclined the night before seem to be now, even if it's just subtle for shifting tones of color or moving fabrics, displays that leave the fabrics entirely and swirl around the bodies and overhead and down below. It is certainly beautiful and different. It is the same but different. And people catch your attention. You can see, you can hear actually the voice of Queen Thruly, her laughter catching on the wind, that the goblin women are here already having a good time. And all of you see this as you enter, sort of near the top of the courtyard circle, having a conversation. You see two young men, one of them with a kind of like a lightly tanned, sort of reddier skin, wearing deep reds, not Corrine's red. As you see, nobody wears Corrine's red, but this is a much deeper red and is accented with light colored furs and a vest pulled in tight. Standing with another man who has darker toned skin and curly hair, wearing the same red tone. Both of them having conversations with a woman. Um, she seems tall, has light colored skin. Her eyes sort of lean in a yellower direction. Long brown hair that seems like has a bit of wave to it and goes a bit past the shoulder. Um, Her frame is shapely, but in a matronly way. It's the body of a mother is the thought that comes to mind when taking in her appearance. Her fabrics are of deep blues and yellows, which match a cloak that is affixed to her shoulder with a bronze pauldron. On the pauldron, it is depicting an image of the sun. She's wearing furred boots and that have fur like at the top above the buckle. She is wearing heavy statement jewelry, these large gems on the ears and the wrists. It is a cyan color, these large gems. She's also wearing a hat that looks to be completely made of a very fine fur, a squat little fur hat set atop her head. Um, you can see her elvish ears that are pointed up, right below the hat, but a noticeable trait is that they split at the top, one piece going forward while the bottom piece curls a bit beneath. Affixed to the center of her chest is a cyan gem, and it takes a moment to fully recognize that you are looking at Aliona, as she is now still very well covered compared to a lot of guests here, but her hair is down and her clothes are slightly more fitted. And she is talking to these two young men, and you watch as she leans forward and gives them both a kiss on the forehead before they bow respectfully and make their way away as she kind of watches them go. She hasn't noticed any of you yet.
I think Roshan would lean to Amelie and say, would you like to meet someone who is completely terrifying, thousands of years old, and who I'm in good graces with?
That is truly the hottest thing you have said at this whole thing. Let's go.
And Roshan will head toward Aliona.
Yeah. Is there anybody else who is approaching Aliona at this time? You can see that Roshan is heading that direction.
Keld's
Nana
gonna
will
walk
make
respectfully.
her way over unless Tan is in
One has
need
already
of...
begun splitting
No?
from you immediately.
Cool! Excellent! I'm walking over towards Aliona then.
Fenn's gonna stick with the party until he sees Corinne, so Fenn's coming with.
The three of you walk over with Amelie in tow, who sees people kind of converging on this spot. Nyx, what did you say? Are you
We're
just
making
continuing
our
forward?
loop.
That's true. You also don't know
Gotta
who this is.
do the rounds.
That's also
Gotta
true.
do
You
the
don't know who this is.
rounds.
Well, we better. We fought with her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. You did meet Aliona.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
true. You're
Yeah.
like, we know
What was
her.
I thinking we
We
did?
know.
Yeah.
You guys met her for like
Yes.
half a second in like the fake episode that we did before you guys joined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you take note of her, and then you're like, well, I have my walk to do. It's
Yeah.
important
If she's
that I keep
along the
walking.
walk, then
Yeah. You're like, once I go back around the circle again, I'll be at her. So
Right.
if she's still there, she's still there. Roshan, Nana, and Fen approach as she sort of turns and like takes all of you in, and you hear the sound of like a jingling little bell as an orange tabby kind of sprints by.
Oh.
My +1.
Of course.
I'm gonna pet Bertro.
Yeah.
You lean down. Bertro, how many times are you petting?
I'm going for the record. Like I'm gonna get scratched, but I don't care.
Oh,
like
no.
I'm petting him.
Fen is
cat.
actively petting this cat and just getting like rabbit kicked just
Yep.
in aggressive force. But it's like, no, there's a record to beat here.
Plus, he's very well armored in the arms. He's got
Yeah.
the big old gauntlets and
We're
stuff.
safe.
He's okay.
Aliona sort of takes you all in as you approach, and kind of like takes each of you in.
Roshan will bow low, but not in an overly showy way because he doesn't think she would appreciate that. And say, a pleasure to see you again, Aliona. This is a dear friend of mine. Her name is Amelie.
Amelie steps forward. It is a pleasure to meet you. I've heard only great things, and honestly, I like what I see, and I'd like to see more of it. Aliona keeps her like back straight, but like inclines her head enough to the side, just cranes it enough so that she is like making direct eye contact. I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you. And kind of pulls up this kind of more like almost just like a bit of a pulled smile. You can see Amelie is feeling out this scenario. Both seem pretty good. There's no issue here.
That's good. Well, it's certainly surprising. Well, not terribly surprising, but a little surprising to run into you here. How have you been enjoying the party so far?
Well, I just arrived a bit ago.
Just today?
I was not here for the party yesterday. I was told that people need not appear for the first. I was honestly interested in possibly not attending at all, but I was told that very influential people would be here, and I wanted to see what the continent had to give.
Do you
Well,
have your eyes
certainly.
on seeing anyone in particular?
I I know a handful of details, so I'm looking for people that just catch my eye. I was not told very many names.
Um, and if it doesn't offend, but I saw the two men in red. Have you made some new friends?
Uh, she smiles, and you can see Amelie also kind of like a quirk to her lip, like she already knows the information coming. Um,
Oh.
um, yes, they are. One of them is the child of our dear friend that we met on the coast, Ivan,
Hmm.
and his partner. And I promised to say my hellos, and so I did.
Ooh,
Lovely.
interesting.
Um, well, if you'd like me or any of us to point out anyone we know, the party lasts a while, so find one of
Mm.
us.
Of course, if you find anyone interesting, at the moment, she looks around. The amount of look at the effort they are putting in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they are very proud of what they are able to accomplish with magic.
Yeah, these are less overt shows of strength so much as like gradually escalating.
It is like a child's puppet show, you know, when you try to
Kind of like
impress children and you present them with little flashes and little bits
yeah.
of magic and sleight of hand, and they all clap
Mm-hmm.
because they are children and not very smart.
Mm. Yeah, that was sort of the impression I had about the sort of guidelines, but it's like it's what the host wants, so I guess it's
I just
whatever.
got here, so, you know, maybe it's cultural. I'm figuring it out.
So are
Festival is
we.
important. It's cold outside. It's warm in here. The people
Yeah,
gathering together to have a good time. It's
yeah,
it's fine.
yeah. It's an overall good to have festivities and merriment when the weather gets cold. It's a good
Of
thing.
course, that's why the people are here, festivity and merriment.
Mm. Well, and a few other things from what I can tell, but
And that's what I have been told. I'm going to see if there's anything of note. Roshan, I wanted to talk to you actually.
Of course. And if you're looking for an interesting story, well, Roshan will point out Thor and Trio and say, uh, they were trapped not nearly as long as you were, but for a few years uh, in a mage's labyrinth, and they slaughtered their way out of it. So, interesting story if you have the time.
I appreciate the feat. If our paths happen to cross, maybe I will inquire about their journey. Um, uh, Amelie looks to you. Listen, have fun. It was a pleasure to meet you. But I see somebody who deserves a bit of a talking to, so I'll be back. We'll meet up. You guys have fun with your very interesting friend, and I'm gonna go have a conversation with someone.
Roshan will give her a kiss on the. Does she have gloves on the gloved hand?
Yeah, she has little white gloves on.
Uh, and then give her a little wave goodbye.
She gives you a nod and then gives like a bit of a kind of curtsy over to Alyona, who returns it with a nod, and Amelie makes her way away. Alyona looks to you, Roshan. Roshan, I hate to be I don't want to be rude. Do not take this as rudeness. Um, I plan at some point. This is sort of a time to understand the continent and the people that inhabit it. I am personally planning on doing something because I am getting restless,
Hmm.
doing nothing. But the thing is, I also need not be hindered when I go about my business. So sadly, I must put a timeline on your wish.
And how quickly? What's the timeline? Before the end of the party? Before the end of the night?
Honestly, the quicker you do it, the more in my esteem you will be. But I would not be so cruel. A week, two. I can't promise on week two. I could not promise that, but at least a week. I could promise that.
I promise to have my bidding to you before the end of the week.
That is appreciated. I would hate to be, because of course I want to uphold my gift that I have given you, as you have given me quite the gift. Uh, but sadly, I cannot be incapacitated in the midst of work.
I understand. I will give it an abundance of thought and get back to you very soon. Would you like me to point out the interesting people I know at the party, or would you like to meet them yourself?
I will I will meander first, I appreciate, but then maybe I will sidle up for information, as you can usually tell how important a person is, but the good ones, the really good ones, you can't tell it all.
Well, you know who's running the party, right?
I've been given name and description.
Red dress and pearls. You can't miss Kareen. And what was Otis wearing?
Otis is wearing like the best way I can describe it is like if you got like a little fancy Amish outfit. So like
Hmm.
black coat, white high collar, wide brim black hat.
Fancy.
And the wide brim hat with the white collar is her partner in crime. Is a bit on the nose, but perhaps it fits.
The fact that anyone is here is a bit on the nose. But it is what it is. I will take a walk. I appreciate the assistance. It is nice to see all of you not dead.
It's a pleasure to see you
Lovely
again as
to-
well.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy the party.
I will try. And there's almost like a flash of a bored expression that begins to form as she sort of pushes it back and gives a nod and then begins to make her way away. Nana and Fen, I believe that is the first time that you have heard about this wish.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Interesting.
La la la.
Roshan started walking.
Yeah, Roshan fully started walking away.
Wait, Roshan! Nana goes walking after him.
Oh, yes.
Was it your name day?
No. Alyona felt that she owed me for the speed at which I broke her out, and has offered me a great boon. And I think his voice quivers a little bit and saying, and now I have to use it.
Well, Roshan, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
It's not that I don't want to do it It's just I'd hoped to save it for a time that might be dire, but now I've some thought to give to what's possible.
Well, if you want a sounding board, if you want someone to just throw ideas around with, even if they're not good, you can always talk with me or with Fen, any of us.
I wish
I-
to bring your sister. Or you just wish for Gungnir.
Or I could save Nyx, or I could kill Bosch, or I could do 1,000 other things. But now that is the time for partying and not for worrying about what I can do. So.
Right. Okay.
I trust that you'll do the right thing.
I believe you will. But if you need any help at all getting it done, we're in your corner.
It's just that there is no right thing. There are many right things, and
Or could be right in a certain light.
I know I won't regret. Well, I can't say that. I hope I don't regret what I choose. I just know that I'll regret not being able to do everything. So.
Well,
We're going to do everything anyways.
Yeah. It's the problem with mortality. You don't get the opportunity to do it all. It's only what you've got time for.
Well, we've got time to do the things that we plan to do. At this point. I'm sure we'll pile on more later that we won't get to eventually, but at this point...
We're at a party at this point.
You'll do the right thing, Roshan.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think they do shots on the second night?
Probably.
Shots? Like Taldrick used to do?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's
but
go find some.
In better flavors and colors. Let's go. I'm going to the lounge.
Yeah.
You make your way to the lounge. Keld, you and the ladies, are you going anywhere in particular? They don't seem interested in like walking the gauntlet like Nyx and Russ are going to do, but they can split from you or you can stick with them. It's up to you.
I don't know which way I'm drawn to. Do they seem sort of like they're already walking off on their own?
They're currently like walking with you, but you can see that they are inclined to go to the drinks and food area. That seems to be where they are like about to veer. So you can either veer with them or go somewhere else.
I'm gonna veer with them there then, yeah.
Okay. You move with them as they seem very intent to get drinks in them immediately.
That's always a good start. So.
Yeah. So you join them for drinks. As you are walking into this area, two men seem to be exiting. Both kind of a tall, more slender, a lean build. One of them wearing black with a high collar that kind of spikes up, kind of straight up the cheeks and seems to move up right to the temples, almost just like a very high neckline. Wearing like a low flowing cloak with this that kind of drapes just below.
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh no! Jillian
That does
was
what?
from so far away. There we go. Now we're back. Oh, no. You're back now.
the shoulder area is covered by this like high black turtleneck. The outfit is black and has a gold chain that connects the two sides of the cloak. Um, Dark colored eyes, kind of an ashen skin, and sort of a kind of slicked back blonde hair. There we go. Walking with another man who seems to be a couple inches taller, uh, dark, very cool toned skin, eyes bright and sort of kind of a bright gray, um, long braids that graze the shoulders. You can see that there's a bit of like, it looks like fine golden wire that's been twisted into some of these locks, and wearing black and gold as well. Uh, their outfit, instead of more flowing and spread, a more tight fitted suit, kind of closer to the body, exposing more of the neck and the jawline, but has sleeves that kind of go to the tops of the fingers, like that, to the bottoms of the fingers, and like attach like gloves. It is all connected and one piece, and they walk side by side. And the one with the blonde hair take and just bright white teeth smile as they make their way, it looks like, towards the lounge. Um, you hear Maggie like does like a kind of like a burr sound as after they've walked by and goes to grab a drink from the bar. Um, Thor's like, "Are we getting fucked up? Is that what we're doing?"
Hmm.
One dice per lady?
Let's find out.
Clickus clackus. uh, they seem to like ponder for a moment, as you know that they came here once before, and for them it was like 4 years ago. Um, but you see kind of Maggie seems to hone in and is like, they were here last year. I remember their faces, and they gave me goosebumps last time. Yeah, that's it's like a tingle up your spine. Some people just do that to me, you know?
Hmm.
I don't know their names, but I wouldn't ask. At least I won't. And kind of puts on this like shy demeanor. Like, I wouldn't.
Okay.
And all of you go to grab a drink. Um, Nix and Russ, you are currently making the circle, which he's making at a bit of a quicker speed this time instead of like
Good.
meandering, saying hello to people, and he kind of leans over. All right, so I should get a little ping when my boss shows up, and I do not stand next to him. I don't, bodyguard about. That's not how seconds work anyways, but when my boss gets here, I may have to like be in certain areas more strictly than yesterday, just so that I could be within earshot if something were to happen. Um, and I've been informed that we were able to get a meeting on the books. So
Okay.
it's not you just don't walk up to him and start talking. This is a big business meeting. So you're scheduled, your whole gaggle is scheduled to talk to him, and I'll make sure to gather you all up when it's time. And
Okay.
it sounds like you're getting me wrapped up with a little bow, so good.
All right.
All
I can
right.
at least find Keld. I don't know how we'll find the others, but
Listen, we'll do our best, at least to gather up as many as we can.
Mhm.
We'll do our best. Hi there. And like does like a solid handshake with a guy. Um, as the two of you continue. But for now, there's nobody here. I haven't gotten the word. Uh, do you want to get drinks from the table that gives us the drinks you want, or did you want to dance, or did you want to get some food? What do you want to do?
Probably the fun drink table.
That's a really good choice. Honestly, I'm only doing half the circle today, so that's we'll get there quick, I think.
That's good. I don't think we need the whole one.
Honestly, there's no reason to. If people want to say hi to me, they're going to come find me and they're going to come say hi to me. And if that is their inclination, that's their inclination. And Russ smiles and does half of the circle and then kind of draws back and goes back towards the lounge where you see those two men wearing the blacks and the golds and just these kind of tall, lithe bodies as they make their way over to one of the couches and stare and they talk to each other and they talk and they drink as they look at one of the beautiful moving windows before them. It looks like they've picked what looks like a vast sprawling field with the sun slowly setting in the background, and they talk and you see occasionally their fingers graze each other, but nothing too overt, very very subtle, very very high society, their fingers touched,
Oh, no.
you know you approach the table and he's like, all right, what are you thinking? What are we getting?
Do you think they do like spiced juices?
You can ask for some sort of spice juice.
We'll try
That
that.
sounds like a thing.
Like a hot juice of some sort.
Ooh.
That's what we're asking for.
Malt cider.
Yes.
Hot juice is the request. Hot spice juice. And
gingery.
you are presented with something that does seem possibly appley in color.
Yeah.
It's more of a tan tone instead of like a bright berry red or purple. But you can see steam rising out of the glass, and there is a spiced smell that hits the air.
Fantastic.
All right, what am I going to do? I want. See, it influences me. I also want a spice juice. If I could have a spice juice, he says, like to the cup, like it's a waiter. He's like, could I possibly?
Does it also get a little cinnamon stick in it?
Of course it does.
Of course it does. It's fancy.
And another drink with a cinnamon stick appears, and as Russ reaches for it, a man approaches, solid shoulders, holding two heavy pauldrons, a sword at the side, and he gives like a quick respectful bow. Excuse me, Russ the Gold. If you would indulge me, I would love a combat to unconsciousness. Nothing too drastic. Russ is like his finger just grazes the warmth of the cup.
No.
And he looks to you and he gives you a kiss on the forehead. Of course, and kind of gives his own nod. Let's get to it. I would love to do a bit of a bout. After you. And the man nods, and Russ looks to you and kind of like motions like, if you want my drink, also you can have it.
Just carrying both. At least try it.
Yeah.
As you walk, he like kind of like leans in and takes a sip from the cup.
Right.
And all of you see that a combat is occurring near immediately as somebody is already like, let's try and get some status, baby. as
Ooh,
Russ
here we
goes
go.
to meet them in the arena. And you watch this person's blade before they enter almost, it looks like vibration, like the blade vibrates ever so slightly with energy before he walks into the circle. Russ looks to you, Nyx, and like gives you a big smile and then walks in. And you watch his body relax as he leans into posture. And people have gathered up, excited to watch. Um, are all of you coming to watch, or is it like, well, I just got my drink. I
Gotta
just
watch
got a
Russ.
drink.
Gotta watch
Um,
Russ.
gotta watch.
Gotta
Um,
watch Russ.
We can take our drinks with us.
yeah, you pick up your
Yeah, we
drinks.
can
The ladies are
multitask.
like, let's go, come on. This guy's gonna get fucking obliterated. And they they all make their way forward, and
We all
groups
know who
begin
to
to
vote for.
form. Yeah, we all know who we'd put money on if that was allowed here. But as you can probably guess, money is not very substantial at this kind of event. So if there's bets happening, it's not involving money. Uh, you all gather up as the two of them square off in the center, and there's quiet, and they move in for combat. Russ puts his arm up in front of himself as he blocks the blade as it comes in, and you watch a flare of energy just explode from the sword and push him backwards, feet skidding across the ground as Russ goes in, and he is going to try and go for a stun. And you watch this man lock up right at the top. And Russ takes hits. Russ feels the edge of a sword, feels the hit of a fist. But in a fight that's not too much longer than the one before, where he fought against Raw the Axe, eventually fells his combatant. But there's no need to take trophy, as they did not ask for a fight to the death. And Russ kind of goes over and like gives the guy like a pat on the shoulder. There you go. Talk to me tomorrow if you want more. It was a pleasure. And is then swarmed by the people fixing armor and reapplying hit points as he makes his way over to Nyx and gives her a kiss and then takes his drink, which is still warm, and takes a sip from it.
Damn,
And
that was over in no time.
right?
Goodness. That was
Do you want to
crazy.
go sit or do you want to dance?
I was gonna sit first. At least have some of the juice.
That's true. Sorry, it's
Huh.
sometimes the brain gets a
Unless
little
if
jumbled
you
when
have a
you.
lot of energy, then we can go dance and then go back to the juice. I'm fine with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Just down
The
this
two of
cup.
you
Real
make your
fast.
way that way, and um, um, let me roll a dice about it. If I could see it. That's what I get for making the lights dim. Look better.
No,
Can't see dice.
no.
Uh,
Dices.
dice far
Need
away.
a little like ring light right over the dice rolling cart. Matt.
Yeah, that works for me. People are welcome to go about their business and get drink and look for whoever they may be looking for in this beautiful, sparkling place that you know is full of interesting people and very powerful people, and a woman out of time who is certainly a force in and of herself. And Nyx, you know that you have a meeting on the agenda with a very important person to hopefully take down a monster of a man. And as everybody goes to get drinks and dance, that is where we're going to stop for today. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. If you'd like to figure out, hey, how did we get here? Where did we come from? Who even are we? You can head over to youtube.com/the
What even's the
Dice
deal
Cult.
with Golden Chin Joe?
Tell me these deals about people who aren't even. Go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
If you want any of that detail. But anywho, if you'd like to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. If you'd like to keep up with all of us, we are at the Dice Cult on Instagram and Twitter. Today's beautiful dice rolls were brought to you by Katie's Beautiful Dice. There will be a link in the chat, and you can go partake in some dice that certainly are beautiful and understand drama. And that's really all you look for in dice is aesthetics and drama. And I need not for anything else. Thank you again for being here. We appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. We will be here same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.